Good morning, second graders. It's Mrs. Sylvester, and I am going to go over a phonics lesson with you. Today we are going to look at words and read words that have the long I sound. And we know that long I can be made, of course, with our magic E spelling pattern, but there are three other ways to make the long I sound. So we know these are just two words with the magic E, hike and slide. We know that we can have a consonant, vowel, consonant, magic E to make the long I sound. But a new way, three new ways that maybe you haven't practiced yet, is just with the I. Now, many words have a short I when there's just an I, but we're going to see some words and some patterns for when that I, even without a magic E, makes the long I sound. There's also many words that have a Y that says the I sound instead of the traditional Y sound or the E sound, which we have learned before. And finally, I, G, and H. Even though there are three letters in that pattern, we only hear the long I sound. So first, let's look at the words that just have an I. So usually, as I said, the I can make the short I sound if there's not the magic E, but this word, find, has two consonants after the vowel. I know that if I didn't have the D and it was just F-I-N, I would have the word fin, like a fish has a fin, but now that I have two consonants after the I have a word that has the long I sound. So find, I can find some flowers outside. Also, when a word has two syllables and the first syllable ends with the long I sound, we just use the one letter I. So in this word, silent, and you can remind yourself about the syllables by clapping it out. So silent, and I hear sigh. I hear the long I after the S sound, so I just need to use the letter I. Here are a few more words that have the long I in the first syllable. Pilot, a person who operates an airplane. Rhino. Tiger. Child. And spider. And you'll notice the example we went over had find, had two consonants, but some of these words actually don't just have two consonants, but a second syllable with consonants and maybe even another vowel. But the main thing to remember is that when the first syllable, when you hear the long I, like in pilot or rhino, tiger, child, spider, just use the letter I. No magic E needed. The second way to make the long I sound is with the letter Y, and we will notice that even though the letter Y can make the E sound or of course the Y sound, at the end of the word it can often make the I sound. So this word is try. How about some other examples with the letter Y making the I sound? Cry, dry, dragonfly, fry, and butterfly. And sometimes, even though we just looked at all those words that had the Y at the end of the word, sometimes the Y can come in the middle of the word and make the long I sound. This could be tricky because these two examples at least have the long I sound after the first syllable. And so here's where you would need to use your good strategy to check and try it with the letter I or try it with the Y. So our first word is hydrant, a fire hydrant. And then this picture of a snake, we're showing it's a python. So python. So that's the letter Y. And there may be a few other examples with Y in the middle of a word. The third pattern is the IGH. So those three letters work together, but we just hear the long I sound, like in the word bright. And there's many words that have the T sound at the end that follow this pattern. So a big word family of I, G, H, T. So we don't make the G or the H sound, just the long I sound. So let's practice these words with the long I rules. This is a light. So look at all those letters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but we really just stretch it out and hear 3 sounds. Light, light, because I, G, H work together to make the one sound, the long I. This is a picture of a night. These two kids are having a fight. And that kid's pants are a little too tight. And here, this boy is measuring his height. So those words all have a T after the IGH, which is a very common word family. So sometimes IGH can be at the end of the word and not have the T. Like, for example, the part of your leg called the thigh. And then this building is very high. So let's practice, and if you have a paper, you can practice writing the words, and you can stop the video if you need a little bit more time. But now that we've had 3 different examples of a new way to make the long I, try one of those 3. And don't forget about the strategy of trying more than one pattern and seeing which spelling looks right to you. So this is a picture of night, or you could also think of it as sky. So if I'm going to think about how do I spell night, I'll put up here that I could just have an I could have a Y, or I could have IGH. Now I remember hearing that the IGH is usually in a lot of words with a T at the end. So if I hear a T at the end of night, night. I know I have an N to begin the word and a T to end the word, so I'm going to go with the IGH pattern because of that T at the end. If I tried the other patterns and just did an I, well, I learned that usually a word would need 2 consonants or a second syllable to just use the I by itself. Otherwise, this would be the short I instead of n-ite, n-it, since I only have the one T sound at the end. So I don't think it's that one. And I also learned that the Y is usually at the end of a word instead of in the middle, unless there is more than one syllable. So again, I'm using my strategy of spelling the word with more than one pattern and looking to see which one looks right. Now I could try the magic E pattern, which I'm very comfortable with, n-ite. And that might look correct to you, especially since the magic E, we know for sure that that would make the I say its name. But again, I know that when I'm reading, I have seen this word night spelled this way. So let's check, and you could have also practiced the word sky. And sky, since it has the I at the end of the word, is spelled with the Y. Okay, let's try some more. Oh, now this is showing 2 I's, but can you think about how to spell the word magnify? Magnify has an I at the end, so it should be spelled with the letter Y. Magnify. We do have a short I in there also. How about this animal? This was in some of our examples. A tiger. There's 2 syllables in tiger. Tiger. So if I hear the long I in the first syllable, I know I can just use the letter I. Sometimes the letter Y is used, but try your strategy again where I could spell it both ways. Just an I. Or a Y. Which one looks correct? And it is with the I. Tiger. How about this one? Oh, the clothes are being hung up to dry. Or you could spell clothesline. Dry. How about this type of shoe? It's very high, a high heel. So, I. Now, I do hear the I at the end of that word, and I know that the Y is used at the end of many words. I also know I've seen the word high spelled with just an I, like this. I could try it with the Y, although I did learn that sometimes the IGH can come at the end, even though there's many words that have the T after the IGH. So my strategy of spelling it 3 different ways and looking to see which one looks correct to me. But for this, you do need the IGH for high heel. Or high can also be thinking about something that's not down low, but way up high. And this is a dinosaur. So that has 3 syllables, dinosaur. And the first syllable ends with a long I sound. So die has a long I, so it's spelled with just the letter I. Okay, well, boys and girls, great job learning how the long I can be spelled with more than just the magic E. And you will have some practice today using this strategy of looking at a word and thinking about the 3 different patterns and which is the correct spelling. So keep up your good word work. The more you read, the more you'll notice patterns and apply that to your great spelling. Your second grade teachers are very proud of you, and we look forward to seeing your work. Have a great day. Bye.